Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again on our second video of the evening, trying the new setup, and we've got numbers showing up. Fraps is on. Let me exit Fraps. There it goes. All right. Excuse the technical difficulties. Yeah, that's on me this time. Okay. Once again, the Reverend.
The Theme here.
And
Very nice one.
Yes, indeed, we are back. Three middle-aged men, just talking about nothing in particular. Actually, we are going to be talking about something in particular. Most interestingly, the fact that a certain person that we all know and love is now the safety and what is it?
Trust and safety.
Yeah, the trust and safety advisor for Twitter. All right.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I'm speaking facetiously.
I know. But
So,
I can't even be facetious on that.
Yeah. So if the news hasn't reached the viewers' ears, basically, Anita Sarkeesian of the Feminist Frequency fame, Tropes versus Women, the celebrated gaming anti-gamer, and feminist extraordinaire has been named the person in charge of Twitter's Trust and Safety Committee. All right.
The thing is, you have to see the rest of this list that's on this committee.
Yeah.
It is totally, totally ridiculous. None of these freaking organizations or websites or whatever advocates freedom of speech.
Yeah.
None of them.
Quite frankly, it's the exact opposite. It's the exact opposite.
Yeah, unfortunately, the thing about Ms. Sarkeesian and her ilk, if it's not very obvious by her own videos, they're not very big on how can you say
Logic?
No, they're not very big as far as encouraging free discourse. All right.
Or encouraging a debate, opinions, facts.
Oh,
Criticism.
no, they love, debate and opinion, at least their side of it. But
That's not a debate. That's just scorning, and that's it.
Yeah, that's
just accusations, and that's it.
That's pretty much them going out of their way to do things within their own safe space, which really is nothing but an echo chamber if you think about it. All right. Now, the interesting thing about all of this is that if you haven't paid attention to Twitter outside of Anita Sarkeesian and her ilk, running rampant on it, is the fact that Twitter is finding themselves in a really, really, really odd spot. Their stock has been plummeting like steadily. Yeah. And part of it is the fact that there's a few things that are going on here. Twitter is, we're not even going to go into the users and how it's kind of overrun in a particular way, but it's really not a commercialized platform. They don't sell ad space, and it's not like they're charging their users anything to actually go ahead and, register for an account and actually do anything. They're just up there, and they provide, well, they're supposed to provide a voice for anybody who's willing to go ahead and make it known to them. All right. That was the whole thing about Twitter. All right. In fact, that was the whole thing about most of the internet boards or most social media communication as far as the internet has gone. The thing about it is that Twitter itself, they're finding themselves in this weird position where they don't know whether or not they're going to exist for very much longer.
No.
Facebook.
If this keeps up.
Yeah, especially when you think about it's like Facebook, they have all their stuff monetized. Any of the other social media outlets out there, Tumblr is monetized. YouTube is monetized. Google Plus and Google Hangouts, all of that is monetized.
Right.
Twitter is not.
Nope.
And I don't know if anybody's going out of their way to see whether or not they want to go ahead and actually purchase part of the pie for Twitter. So I really don't know how they make their money. does anybody know how they make their money?
No, not off the top of my head. No.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, really weird. They don't have advertisers. You have people who, there's a large measurable footprint for social presence and stuff like that, as far as social media for like celebrities or other internet personalities or whatnot, but they really don't have a hard line of revenue coming in, which puts them in a really, really weird spot, because basically, that means that they're all up to the whims of the users, and a lot of the users of Twitter have run amok.
Dropping like flies.
Yes. Yes.
It's just a simple fact that they wanted a place where they can actually go and express themselves. And next thing you know, they have a committee that is totally against a certain type of expression.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense. It's just like, oh God, I can't believe that now. It's funny how the more technology got better, the worse it got for freedom of speech.
Well, the funny thing about that is that I think with a lot of people, with the advent of the internet, a lot of people forgot what it felt like to actually hold a conversation with somebody who was close enough to smack the shit out of their mouth. All right?
Very true.
That was one thing. The other thing is that, unfortunately, a lot of folks will go ahead and a lot of folks who are on the internet usually fall into one or two categories. The folks who just want to be left the fuck alone, who don't bother anybody at all, and the folks who want to be involved with everything the fuck out there. All right. Yeah. And they want to control everything the fuck out there. Majority of the people, otherwise, they kind of fall somewhere in between. All right. But it's really one of those things where it's just like the very, very vocal few on each side of the issue. Those are the ones who are being heard. And majority of the time, those are probably the most crazy people too. So
on both sides.
On both sides, yeah.
What really gets me is, why would a company such as big as Twitter listen to the vocal minority?
Well, I mean, I mean, the thing about that though is that it's one of those things is whether or not they want to go ahead and deal with any sort of backlash or deal with having to answer questions. All right.
Well, they're doing that now, aren't they?
Well, see, the beauty about these big companies like Twitter is that what I guess they don't realize is that we have them by the balls, more or less. I mean, because if people start leaving Twitter, I mean, they already did. I'm talking about like in masses.
Yeah.
That's only one of the
left with nothing but a shambles.
That's only one of the initial problems, though. The other is that who is this for all the safety and committee, all the rules, who are they going to apply to? Let's say it's just anyone just has a disagreement.
Not them. The people that are on the safety board, they're free. They're
but that's my initial point. So you're just going to have people tweeting things out there without any opposition. That's going to take a lot out of it.
Yeah.
Even if you're in the same wavelength, you can still disagree about stuff.
Yeah.
You still have different opinions about things.
People went to Twitter to put out what they felt or what they want.
Is about
freedom of speech.
A social site is about being social.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's just expressing yourself.
Absolutely.
Regardless of how the other general public sees that, look, you can say what you want. Now, the main problem is that feelings are being hurt by words, and now feelings have become the standard. And that's what's so stupid about it. It's like, okay, wait, but these are facts that I'm telling you. No, but I feel it should be this. And so feelings are now ranked above facts.
Well, it's not even I feel it should be this. It's that what you're saying upsets me. And here's the thing about that. I am all for academia and people going out of the way and going through the higher learning process. But I also believe that if you're going to go through the higher learning process, you know, get the fuck out of your state, get out of your city, get to another fucking country. Look how life actually happens outside of your little fucking circle.
Yes, right? First world problems.
Yeah, you know, and the problem with the safe space mentality, all right, is that supposedly for them, all right, creating a safe space physically is literally filling up an empty room with pillows and blankets and videos of puppies and bringing out coloring books, all right, while playing music, soft music over.
It's funny because sometimes that doesn't even include your significant other.
Yeah. The silly thing about that, though, is that when you have these quote unquote safe spaces online where the only thing you have is basically a homogenous flow of like-minded ideas all the way, basically what you have is an echo chamber, okay? And there is nobody checking anybody one way or another. There's nobody keeping anybody on an even keel, all right? So what starts out as, you know, hey, we should be nice to XYZ people. We should make people aware of their existence and everything else, which nobody will disagree with, right?
Well, to tie into that, man, is this. It's like there's a reason why this third wave feminism is called a repressive. It's because, like you said, if you get in a room full of like-minded people and they don't want to hear anything other than that, there's no progress. There's no progress going on there.
No, actually, there is progress, but it's very, very negative. All right, and this is what I'm getting to. You know, what happens is, like I said, they start out with a very germane idea. All right, where it's like, we got to go ahead and stick up for this group of people who's misrepresented or whatnot, or we got to make people aware. Guess what? Nobody's disagreeing with that. There isn't anybody fucking disagreeing with that. All right, but then it goes a step further. Oh, these people are being, you know, treated like this by these people. Oh, those people are evil. All right. Or instead of we have to educate those people, it becomes those people are evil. All right. And then after those people are evil, oh, those people, they should be made to pay for even saying those things. All right. And then, oh, those people aren't even people anymore. Oh, we should just, you know, treat them like shit. All right. Or decry them, and, you know, they have no value to their fucking life. And then all of a sudden you have this group of people, like I said, that are all like-minded. Once that slope starts going like this, everybody starts sliding down it. You got,
and that's what I mean. There is no progress. All it is a regression.
Yeah.
You know,
how are you going to have a space that's supposedly free for ideas, and then you're going to have everybody afraid to say anything?
Well, what kills me
itself is just ridiculous.
Well, what kills me is that, like I said before, you know, the feminists, you know, think that when the truth is inconvenient, they're oppressed. You know, it's like you're not looking at facts. And so,
it's not just, but the thing about it is, it's facts, biology, science,
and the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that you know, the doctrine behind this, unfortunately, is it's starting from like kindergarten, and it's being you know, ingrained into the, you know, the folks who are like the aforementioned, you know, Miss Sarkeesian, all the way through academia, that, hey, look, this is a doctrine that you have to buy into. All right, that's the reason why their whole catchphrase is "listen and believe," which is really fucking culty if you think about it. All right, that's something like on the Charles Manson vein. Okay.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's just like, okay, if two people are having just a disagreement about which is better, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or ham and cheese.
Ham and cheese, because peanut butter and jelly is supposedly racist. You should know that.
What?
Yes.
It's all about the P&J. I don't care how racist it is.
Peanut butter and jelly is supposedly racist. Google it. You will see the article.
I'm not doing that.
Google it. You will see the article.
I will still have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I'll probably do that shit tonight.
To get back on track, what this Anita Sarkeesian wants to do is they want to teach this mindset that they developed, to our kids at school. They want to infiltrate the education system and,
for the most part, they already have
our kids.
Well, yeah, like the team says, for a lot of intents and purposes, they have, but when it applies to Twitter and everything else, basically what you have is that they have carte blanche to go ahead and just blacklist people en masse.
Yeah.
And then you sit there and you think about it, it's like, so what type of people are they blacklisting? Well, let me see here. Let me jump on SureDog really quick.
Oh, wow.
Let's see here.
I just don't understand blacklisting opinions, for one. But then when it comes to facts should end all. That should be the be-all, end-all. That should be it. And then you're blacklisting people for that, which doesn't make any sense at all. There's no learning here.
Nope.
There's no knowledge here. There's not even a wavelength of conversation. It's just that what we say goes, and if you're against that, you have to leave.
You're one of them.
And it's like, wait a minute, but what you're saying, I have proof that what you're saying doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that, I mean, what has to happen with a lot of folks is that they've got to be able to sit there and stop being so uncomfortable about
everything.
Sticking by the facts. All right.
Well, I think you hit the head on the nail on the head right there. Is that a lot of people, some of these conversations that people are having, they're triggered. They don't feel comfortable listening to that. And then what happened to the old way? If I don't feel comfortable about something, I leave. I get up, I leave. I don't look at, I go to another store or whatever. And now, just like, y'all were saying.
Go to another store or another restaurant where you change the channel.
Change
the station, whatever it is.
Have a gun to your head and says, you will watch this. You will sit here at this restaurant. No, this is ridiculous. It really is.
I mean, the thing about it is the fact that, it's come to a point where just being upset about something, it puts them into a mindset of righteous indignation, where that is the greatest sin. Guess what? If you're upset about something, that should mean that that's something that's happening in your life. All right, whether or not it's something that you're doing or something about your situation has to change. All right, being upset about something is a human reaction that was put there for a purpose, just like pain was put there for a purpose. All right. Pain is there to teach you, hey, whatever the fuck you just did that puts you in pain, don't do that. All right? Don't do it for that, But
I better not ever see a Bugs Bunny cartoon where he no longer eats carrots because certain people got triggered.
Yeah.
Because, it's a stereotype of rabbits.
Yeah.
Rabbits like carrots, motherfucker. If I see him eating celery all the time, then it's not fucking Bugs Bunny, all right?
It's like, what's up, Doc? What do you mean, Doc? And why are you saying Doc to only males? Huh? A female can't be a doctor? Is that it, Bugs? Come on.
No, whenever Bugs saw a female, he went yoing, 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 and
yeah, that was misogynist in itself. Yeah,
why?
According to them. All right.
He dresses as females. How is that misogynist?
I mean, here's the type of thing that we're worrying about. Okay, there is a personal Here's an excerpt of a block list. All right, there's a particular user. He got triggered. All right, and his block list on Twitter has 301,000 people. All right, of which some of the people that have been blocked are let's see here, Dr. Pepper. Yes, he's blocked. All right. Let's see here. The Suicide Girls, the Mythbusters. All right. Even though the Mythbusters, what they do is hardly called science, it's more like blowing shit up on film just for your fucking entertainment. All right.
Pretty much.
I love that show too, but I'll admit there is not a lot of science to the show, but he's blocked them. All right. Natalie Neidhart, WWE diva. He's such a gentleman, isn't he? All right. He's blocked the whole of the Art of Manliness, which is a great website if you have never gone to it, by the way. Yeah, he's blocked LeBron James.
Wait. Time out.
What?
He's blocking people that's not tweeting him.
For some reason they ended up on his block list because
But wait, you don't even have to follow these people.
No,
you don't even have to follow these organizations. You don't have to receive things from them if you're not following them.
Nope, you don't. No.
So why is he blocking? That doesn't make any sense. That's just an insecure little bitch that wants power.
Yeah.
That's basically what that is.
And if I remember this dude correctly, I think he got famous for going off on some sort of Twitter tirade about an entry in like the online Webster's dictionary or something like that. Yeah.
So he protested the definition?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is that guy who decided that one word was against feminism or something like that?
Well, I think the word was rabid, and
yeah, there's rabid feminist. Yeah,
that was used as the example sentence on how to use the word. All right.
Rabid.
Yeah.
Rabid feminist.
And he went on this huge Twitter rant about it, even though by definition the use of the word was correct.
Made sense.
Yes.
That's why it was included in the definition.
Yeah.
But he didn't like the quote unquote example that it used. But it made sense.
Yep.
So therefore, maybe you should look at feminism differently from that standpoint.
Unfortunately, the mindset of a lot of the folks that are is either theirs and everything else is just alien, which is
one of the main problems is that way too many crazy things are being accepted now, instead of being challenged. And this is where this Twitter thing is going. A lot of crazy bullshit is going to get put out, and none of them are going to get challenged. There's reasons why that certain things that are said, and it's like, wait a minute, we have to reevaluate what you just said.
Yeah.
Especially if it makes no sense at all, and you deserve to be put in a nut house for your ideas.
So basically, he got mad at Oxford Dictionary. It is what it was, because it said rabid feminist.
Yeah.
You know how words have the meaning. Help you understand what the meaning is.
Not only does it have the meaning, it'll usually every dictionary will have like how to pronounce it. Yeah,
use it in a sentence or
the definition, and then it will use it in a sentence to go ahead and show you, okay, this is how you could use it in a sentence.
Or if it compounds with something, it will have that.
Oh.
So he was offended that it said rabid feminist.
Yep.
I mean, if the shoe fits.
I mean, you could call me a rabid romancer. A rabid
gamer.
Yeah.
But what really ticks me off the most is that Oxford acknowledged that shit.
I mean,
and they apologized for that shit. So they're going through their dictionary now and trying to find the example sentences that trigger people before they trigger them, because they're worried about getting sued, just like every other company.
How can you sue that?
I don't know.
Yeah, the problem about it is that the other thing that we're dealing with is that there's a general mindset of a lot of people who are out there who, like I said, they don't want to deal with things. All right. And when it comes to any of that, when it comes to the inconvenience of challenging anything or the inconvenience of going out of their way to do anything, because it takes some sort of effort, and it takes a little bit of fortitude to go out of your way to stand up for a point of view or stand up for your work or whatnot. You know, unfortunately, you know, even when you come to the professional space, most people aren't even paid to think anymore. You know, I mean, if if a lot of people were to sit there and ask me about my job, you know, if it's something that I can answer about, I'll answer for it. You know, but a lot of people, for when it comes to their job, especially, I mean, the guy who sits there and is responsible for whatever the Oxford Dictionary entries are on the online dictionary, his whole thing is that he probably wants to be left alone. Maybe he's an archivist. Maybe he's an entomologist. I don't know. He likes wordplay. He loves the meanings of words and all of that other thing. He likes the English language, probably more than most people do. But he's going to sit there and he's going to run into these sort of instances and say, I'm not paid to deal with this shit.
Well, what is this? Is like the companies, it's easier for the companies to just say, okay, you're right, and just fold to the social justice warriors or whatever, the feminists. It's easier to do that than to contest it and say, no, I'm going to stand by what's been written in the dictionary, you know, the Oxford Dictionary in this case, for years and years and years. It's easier for them to say, okay, I'm sorry, we'll change it. Don't worry, I'm sorry. No. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just easier for the company to do that than to stand by what's written in there. You know, it's easier.
The thing about it is, from that alone, the person that bends and breaks loses their integrity. Totally.
And in my case, yeah. If I was running a company,
bend and break for something petty.
If I owned a company that somebody, my staff member did that, they'd be gone. You know, I'd get rid of them because I mean,
out of all the things in the world to bitch about, you choose that. What does that say about you?
Yeah.
You're offended. You're offended from this. There are too many problems out there that you could target, but you purposely targeted this. Hell no, I'm not changing anything because you were that petty.
I mean, and here's the danger about the situation with Twitter is that if something like this were to come up, guess what? Those people who would actually come out to challenge those things are going to be automatically silenced. They're going to be put on block lists.
That's the problem. Absolutely. That is the major problem.
Certain things will only be challenged and certain things will be just...
Yeah.
Well, what gets me is, you know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you're going to put yourself, you're going to put these rules on other people, you need to stand by those rules yourself.
This is one thing.
Good for the first.
This is one thing I do not understand. You get superstars, you get famous people. You even have the president of the United States that has tweets against him or making fun of him. What happens to that?
Yeah, and
it'll be silenced.
No, you see, by who?
And
because
by the Safety and Trust Board, Anita Sarkeesian.
But that's the problem. If these people are saying these things about these famous people, and let's say it's a famous person that I don't know, Anita Sarkeesian doesn't like.
Yeah.
How would you lie? And if it goes viral and it goes worldwide, what does that say about that committee?
Yeah.
That's the major issue that will happen. One of these days, that will happen. That will take place. What about tweets about Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it in this percent. What happens if Hillary Clinton becomes the president? This is just the beginning of what we're seeing.
This is why I'm fighting that 100%.
Yeah.
There's no way possible.
You could expect much, much worse.
Oh yeah.
I mean, one of the things that we can sit there and kind of wrap up with, you know, is the fact that when you sit there and you go out of your way, here's the thing. All right, the First Amendment it exists for a reason. All right. Say what you will about the First Amendment, separation of state and church or whatnot, but one of the things that one of the reasons why the First Amendment was put there by the founding fathers was the fact that anybody who said anything bad about the king not only had their land and property taken away from them, but they disappeared. All right.
Yeah. They were beheaded.
Yeah, they were killed. All right. you know, and that's how it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On the same point here, when you sit there and you're, you know, I'm not talking about slander. All right. I'm not talking about libel or anything like that. There's reasons why those sort of things are against the law. But when you sit there and you completely cut off the discourse of certain things, all right, then what happens is that nobody, the reason why dictators and you know, tyrants are against freedom of speech is because you get, if people are talking a certain way, that means they're thinking a certain way. All right. Yes. If they have the audacity to say things out loud, then they have the audacity to think about things and actually put them into action. Okay. And look, I understand if you're going out of your way and you say you're standing up for the small guy, but if you're going to sit there and you're going to say, okay, hurrah for my team, and the other guy doesn't even have a fucking chance. All right. You're not acting in the safe, in the interest of what was she, you're not
acting in the fair chance, you know, of freedom of speech.
You're not.
This is what I don't understand about so-called feminism, which I call the femi-ISIS. I don't understand everything that they claim that they're fighting against, but they're advocating when it comes to their side.
Yeah.
I don't understand where they say that, well, this is a boys' club, and now they're doing the exact same shit
over here,
what they want to keep, and not allowing any other opposition. And it's like, wait a second here, you're condemning it here, but you're all for it here.
Yeah,
you know, there's an example there. You know, a man. You know, I would never do this, but there's no such thing as a man feminist. The feminists said that you cannot be a feminist, is what they're saying. Even if you're a man or female, it's an all girl inclusive thing. But they're talking about an all.
They want men to accept it, but they don't want men to be on their side.
But they don't want men to be on their side. It doesn't make any.
They want men to help out, but they don't want to be damsels in distress. It's just floods and floods of
asinine. It's asinine. It's contradicting asinine bullshit.
I mean, I'm not gonna spend too much time to dwell on the inner workings of somebody who's indoctrinated into that sort of mind things, and we really don't have the time to do that.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is that when you sit there and you set up a system where it's like, all right, I can just, anybody who dissents, anybody who disagrees, anybody who has even the stray thought, I can go ahead and just shut them out and shut them up.
Silence them.
You're already. There's a reason why we call them. They're called feminazis, all right? Because that's a fascist dictatorship.
That's why I call them the femi-ISIS.
Yeah, you know, that's
terrorism.
Yeah, you know, that's
not, yeah, absolutely.
You know, and that's just how it is. You know, it doesn't ensure anybody's safety. It doesn't ensure anybody's trust.
No.
If anything, it just causes hate and discontent.
No.
You're not joining people. You're separating them. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm just amazed that she's going to go out of her way and she's going to take such a big fucking job, especially after she declared that she's clinically depressed and can't put out any more feminist frequency tropes versus women game videos.
That frequency was filled with bullshit. That's why.
Well, yeah.
The thing is, I've heard that feminist frequency is actually going down the gutter now. She's leaving. She's vacating it.
Yeah.
So in order for her to still remain relevant, she talked to somebody to get on on Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, that won't be for long if Twitter is still headed the way it's headed.
Twitter will continue to go down. It will. I looked at it today, and I was like, man, their stock is. I mean, it's dropping. From the 19th or what was it, 16th, when she announced that she was part of the trust and safety, whatever. The stock has went from $41 a stock down to $20.
It's messed up because people are like, well, all right, back to MySpace.
or Facebook.
Nope. Facebook is being eliminated too because that's going to go the same route. People are like, back to MySpace.
Oh, we'll see what happens. I mean,
well, with that though, I don't think Facebook would do that. Like
really?
we were talking about earlier, Well, Twitter actually relied on, they didn't have no advertisements or anything like that. They actually relied on its member base. Facebook, on the other hand, actually has ads, and they could keep themselves afloat through that.
Yeah.
But Twitter's done.
Yeah.
They're steak. They're done. There ain't one sauce on it.
I'm pretty sure that as far as you know, the writing on the wall for Twitter goes, you know, we only got 2 minutes left. You know, unfortunately, it's the cards are going to fall where they may, and you know, lover, hater, or whatnot, she's going to be part of that footnote about, you know, what the last days of Twitter are going to be. You know,
and that's what it is. Last days of Twitter.
Yep. Done.
Destroying free speech, destroying free ideas, destroying freedom of expression, and eventually it'll be destroying the internet if this keeps going. If this keeps going the slope that it's going. It's ridiculous.
I just can't believe that somebody would mute an opposing idea. And that's what a dialogue is. You know, that's what I don't understand. You know, I mean, that's what a debate is for.
But
seeing both sides.
That's not what they want.
But that's not what they want, you know, unfortunately. All right. And I think that's really all we can say with the time that we have allowed. With that, check us out, guys, on our next video. The Theme on his channel, and also Gray Mouse, they've got their subscribe buttons. Go ahead and click on that. They would greatly appreciate it. Sometime soon, you'll see videos from me, probably talking about some of the same stuff, and also just really weird stories that only I can tell because I've lived through them. All right. With that, we'll see you in the next video. This is the Reverend.
The Theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
And Theme, close us out.
Credits.
Yes.